up, everybody? I want to welcome you to Life in Beats Per Minute. We are here today. It is a great day. We are in Inglewood, California, my city. The Wood. We're in the Wood, and I'm here. I invited some friends to come and share with us today. We're here to talk LA Laker Kobe love. That's what we're here for. And I couldn't have thought of anybody else better, a group of people to come other than these individuals here. I want to introduce you to them briefly. I got my man Garrison Brown, famous drummer for Post Malone, Bryson Tiller, and many others. I have my good friend, childhood friend, Dr. Malika Garrett Brown. She's a doctor of psychology. She teaches at Pasadena City and Citrus College. I got my little brother, my baby brother, Raptor Stewart, producer extraordinaire, one half of Key Beats, Rock the Boat, Where My Girls At, and all those famous songs. I got my man Bennett Paysinger, Pasadena's finest, keyboard player to the stars, producer, most famously nominated recently for the Bible of Love. Snoop Dogg, him and his crew produced that whole album. And then I have my good friend, they call him Mouse, I call him the Maestro. Only one person called him Mouse. The legend called him Mouse, but the Greg Gaines, who just came from the Super Bowl with an amazing arrangement of America the Beautiful for the legendary great, our friend, Miss Yolanda Adams. So I want y'all to welcome everybody here. Thank y'all for coming today. Yes, glad to have y'all here with us. So we're here to talk LA Laker love. I want to start back from the beginning and I want to take it back first to Greg, who has been a Lakers season seat holder for a long time. I was just telling him that
About your age, I think.
No, well, listen here. He's the reason why I wanted to get Lakers seats. Just as a musician, you were a Laker. When did you first become a Lakers season seat holder?
I believe it was 84.
Wow. So if it's 84, that means you witnessed 8 championships.
That's about right, yeah.
8
championships. Some seriously good times in the Forum and at Staples, yeah.
So how did it happen? Tell us about what made you want to get them and then how you fell in love with them.
Well, I've started becoming really interested in basketball, Lakers basketball, between 82 and 83. Mm-hmm. And I was working on a solo album at the time with Richard Perry, who's a legendary producer. Yeah. And I was talking to him about, my interest in the Lakers. And he said, oh, well, you should see a game with my tickets, my tickets. Well, come to find out that his tickets were on the floor. Mm-hmm. Courtside tickets. So I said, well, I could get used to this real quick. Mm-hmm. And I just got hooked instantly, of course. And then, the mission after that was to get my own seats, which I landed for the 84-85 season, I believe. Mm-hmm. I believe it was either 84 or 83, but I think it was 84. Mm-hmm. And they weren't courtside, but they were 4 rows from the floor by a basket, so looking down the lane,
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely wonderful. And that was the beginning of the love affair.
Wow. It's amazing. I think about those times. I remember as kids, I think it might have been around 84, 83. Our older brother, me and Raptor's older brother, or our father would take us to the Forum, and after games, I remember one specific game that back then, they didn't park in the tunnel. I remember Michael Cooper parking right outside the Forum Club, right? I remember Michael Cooper had a Trans Am. He had a black Trans Am with the bird on the hood, and Coop gave us some wristbands, and then then a lot of the Lakers, Magic, sometimes they would be at the Airport Park Hotel. People don't even know about the Airport Park Hotel, right next to the Forum. So just those times as a kid and seeing those guys play, my favorite was James Worthy.
Wasn't he great?
James Worthy was my favorite. Benny, who was your? I already know who your favorite Laker. Tell me about who was your favorite Laker, man.
Well, my favorite Laker was Magic Johnson.
Tell us about that love, how it happened.
Well, when I was 10 years old when he came into the league, so I seen this big tall guy dribbling the ball, backing people down, and the fancy passes, man, and me and my brother would yell to the top of our lungs, and my mom would threaten to make us go to bed if we couldn't be quiet. And, showtime. That was it.
Yeah, man. I remember back in those days too. Even watching on TV, we had to watch. They would show the games late.
Channel 9.
Channel 9. It would be late, like like
with Chick.
Exactly, with Chick, man. Magic, man. Arguably the best point guard in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
One of my favorites too. Amazing.
No
Malika, tell me about how you fell in love with the Lakers, because I watch you on social media. First of all, you ride for our team. Don't leave me hanging. You ride for our team.
I get into it. A lot of guys behind it. Have to block some folks.
Yeah.
But I've been a fan since I was 6. Like almost my entire life. It's the only team that I've rooted for.
Right.
I lived walking distance from the Forum. So I remember, not in great detail, but I remember the experience of Magic's rookie season and a championship. And so that set the love that I had. It was part of my childhood memories around the Lakers. We sat around and we watched the games. When we could get money together to go to the Forum and actually sit and watch the games, we would go. And so it's just something that I've had. My parents are diehard. Diehard Laker fans. A couple of my siblings are straight. I still love them, but
right.
I'm related, so I guess I still gotta like them. But for the most part, my kids, I've given it to them. And I told my husband, if he wasn't a Laker fan, we would not be married.
Okay.
No, seriously.
That's tight. That's right.
That's
Why do I believe you right now?
No, I'm very serious.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Football, okay, whatever. Baseball, okay, I'll let you have that. But the Lakers, we would not be married.
That'll cause division in the home.
That's what I'm saying.
You
gotta have unity.
Ready.
Yeah.
Rapture is a Laker fan. So let me give you a little history about some of the things we would do. Like even in the 2000s, we would tour. We would be on tour together, and we talk big stuff about the Lakers to a lot of people that we were on tour with. You tell us about your love, Rap.
So you figure I was born in 77. Okay, I remember Magic came 79, 80. They won a championship. So I don't remember that one, but I remember it's back as far as 82 when they won. So as a kid, I know during that 12-year span when Magic first came, the Lakers went to the finals 9 times. So you got to figure as a kid growing up in my single digits, the Lakers were in the finals every year, every single year. So it's like, how could that not be your team? And it wasn't that we were just there, we actually were winning too. Right. So it was like, okay, we won that first 5, then you figure Jordan had his run, here comes Kobe and Shaq, then we run off another 5. So you got to figure my whole life, the Lakers have been winning championships. So at one point, my brag used to be, well, let's see, since 80's been 30 something finals. I was like, well, the Lakers have been a half of them. So it was like, so when I tell teams, when they talk about, try to talk about the Lakers, I'm like, well, when was the last time your team even went to the finals, let alone won one? So, as a kid, that's all I knew. And like my older brother used to take us to the Forum, and then even Fred Velasco.
Yeah.
My father and my older brother used to get their suits and stuff made from a tailor, Fred Velasco, and he made all the Lakers clothes. Pat Riley, Magic, Worthy. So even going up there with them, we would run into, like, I was there one time, Magic was there. I was there one time, Kareem was there, and I was there one time, Worthy was there. Yep. So I've met all the Lakers just from stuff. So just growing up in LA, that's just what it was. You would, various different things. You never know what it would be that would actually draw you to the Lakers. It might be something simple like that, but you can't help it if they win it every single year. Ain't that right, Garrison?
So let me get to you, Garrison. Let me get to you, because you're a newly adopted fan.
Well, I've always been a Laker observer. So Kobe's draft was the end of my freshman year. So that was Kobe and Allen Iverson and Jesus Shuttlesworth, and that was a big deal at that time. The end of freshman year of high school, that's when sports became very serious for me, and working out came. So you watch what the professionals was doing at that time, more specifically. Yeah. And I remember vividly Kobe being drafted and coming out of high school. Yeah. And I remember, in Youngstown, I'm from Ohio, so Los Angeles, the Lakers, anything on this side of the country seemed like a farce anyway. Yeah. It was just so far away from my world. It was like, it could have been Pluto for all I knew. But for some odd reason, when Kobe was drafted, it just brought a little bit more attention. You paid attention to what was going on a little bit more. They're like, they got to do it out of high school?
Yes.
You know, so we watch it. How is he going to play? What is he going to do? And he went to a school in Pennsylvania, which when I moved from Youngstown to Pennsylvania myself to finish out high school, one of the schools that we played that school in the state championship. And I remember vividly, they were talking about how that Kobe's last state championship game, Cathedral Prep was winning that game in the first half, right? And I, talking to guys that were playing in that game or were there at the game, and they were just talking about how, man, it was like, Kobe, he ain't all that. Yeah, Prep was, we were smacking the first half, and they said the second half was a whole nother dude, and it was almost like that's where the legend kind of started to grow. Like he's different. And when he got to the league, even the early struggles, it was like, it made you pause, like, oh, okay, well, is he gonna struggle? Is he gonna do? But it literally, that very next year, boom. Yeah. Whole new dude, acclimated, and it wasn't no more air balls after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a whole new dude that set a precedent for a 20-year career that you're gonna be hard pressed to find somebody else do what he did in the NBA.
So Kobe coming into the league drew your eyes on the Lakers.
On the Lakers, indefinitely. At that point, it was pay attention to what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we welcome you.
Yes,
we welcome you now, and we'll talk about why you're here now. We'll get to that.
For sure.
Greg, I just want to, when we talk to Forum, of course, we were young. I remember my first time even going to the Forum Club as a young man. But I didn't get to go during the games, but I remember we went to see, I think it was All-Star here or something, and I want to say it was our friend at Nike, or formerly at Polaroid, got us some tickets to see, and I don't know who was hosting it, if it was an NBA thing or whatever, but Michael Jordan had like a celebrity game there. And I remember this was the year Alonzo Mourning was a rookie. And Harold Miner was there, who went to school with us at Inglewood. And I walked into the Forum Club at the time, and it was just more of a family environment because, of course, I was young. But hearing all the amazing stories about the Forum Club back in the day and all the experiences at the Forum, Greg, you can speak to that better than us. Being in the Forum, what are some of the most
I had
memorable?
It so good.
Man,
I had it so good. I mean, I was blessed beyond belief. I had, because the Forum Club was basically a paid situation. You had to pay a membership, or, you had to know somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I neither paid, nor did I know anybody. But somehow, maybe I did know somebody, but because somehow I had access to the Forum Club pretty much whenever I wanted during a game. And even before going in the building, this is how good I had it. I had it to where I had my own parking spot in lot 1.
Oh wow!
And I made friends with the guy who ran that area, ran lot 1, right? So at first I would pull up and he'd let me go in lot 1. It got to the point where he coned off my own spot in the corner right next to the Forum Club entrance. So I literally stepped out of my car and went 5 steps into the...
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Amazing.
And so I'd go in the Forum Club and there was this lovely little Oriental lady and Asian lady. And her name was Kinu.
Okay.
I remember her name. And I'd come in and I'd say, hi, Kinu. And she'd go, oh, hi, Mr. Cunningham. How many? Just one tonight? Oh, come on in. And I could...
Wow.
I had my run of the place. And it was like, because the Forum and the Forum Club were smaller, it was a lot more intimate, and it was a family vibe. It was a great hang.
Yeah.
You'd see anybody in there, and me and my boys would just hang around and talk smack and just have a great time, have meals, drinks, whatever. And it was a completely different environment than Staples. And Staples got a lot of flack for being very stiff and very corporate because they included the suites, to attract more corporate dollars, of course. But the beauty about the Forum was that it was a hang and that you knew everybody. I made the joking observation that during games at the Forum, there are always two games or two shows going on. You had the game on the court, and then you watch the show off the court of all the hot-looking chicks walking around the perimeter of the court while the game's going on, because security was nothing like it is today.
Right.
Of course, they had ushers and they had to be, but it was a lot more lax back then. And during the entire game, not just timeouts, but during the game. All the hot chicks would be walking around, advertising themselves, and the guys would get a kick out of it. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, man.
And so, it was fantastic. Of course, it was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Because you're watching Irvin make a brilliant no-look pass, and at the same time you're going, "Hey, look at that one." It was incredible. You had your choice. Do you watch the game or do you watch the show? It was fantastic.
Listen, man. That's amazing, man. I can imagine, man. So if you
it was fun.
I know you witnessed all of those moments, great moments. The championships. Is there a particular game or moment of the Lakers playing that sticks out in your mind that you just remember?
You know what? There's way too many. My mind is flooded with just millions of memories. I have one incredible memory and one incredible regret.
Okay.
Share.
You mind sharing?
Yeah, absolutely. So the incredible memory was, I believe, the first championship at Staples.
Yeah.
I believe it was the first or the second. I think it was the first. So I'm there. They just won the game. They won the championship. The confetti's flying down. They set the podium up for everybody, for the guys to receive their accolades, and then that bit is over, and Rick Fox somehow had the presence of mind to grab a T-shirt and a cap, and because my seats were right by the Laker tunnel.
Right.
So he's on his way out. He gives me a T-shirt and a cap before he goes to the locker room, and I'm stunned. I'm standing there going, did this just really happen? That he just walked off the court after celebrating and gave me a T-shirt and a cap? I was floored. I couldn't believe it. Wow. So, and everybody around me is going, But so that was the incredible moment. And there are people who say I don't have any regrets.
Right.
Sorry, I do.
Okay.
I have a good amount of regrets. One regret is January 22nd, 2006. Well, this was when the Lakers were winning so much. It's like you could literally phone it in, and you could go to the game in person if you had tickets, or you could choose not to. You could give your tickets away because you knew what the end of the movie was going to be, right?
Yeah.
So this is January 22nd. So a buddy of mine was asking me if he could go, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, why not? Because it's Toronto. What could possibly happen? So near the end, I'm sitting at home and I'm watching in my abject shock as Kobe decides to drop no less than 81 points. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this buddy of mine picked a really good time to ask me.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I give you my tickets, and Kobe's dropping 81 points?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yes, that would be a major regret.
That's a regret. So that was my first year having tickets, and I gave my ticket to one of my buddies at Universal Music, not thinking that I wanted to see Toronto.
Who cares?
Classic moment. He talks about it all the time. I shouldn't have done that, but anyway, it's crazy. Yeah. Let's talk, Malika, for you, because first of all, when guys are talking basketball with women, there's a lot of women that don't know basketball. There's a lot of women that do know basketball.
And then there's you.
And you know what I'm saying?
Another level here.
So even in trying to find some other friends that at least I know that know basketball that are ladies. Tell us about how does that? Tell us about that. You being a woman and talking basketball with guys. How does that go?
Well, it usually goes well until we disagree,
Uh-huh.
and then I have facts.
Yes, you do.
And then they get into the male chauvinist. That's the only thing they have to come back with. So then they're like, well, what women are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then I still come back with my stats and my facts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just what it is. But I've ingested sports my entire life.
Mhm.
Like, you talk to me about the Dodgers, same thing.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So I pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't just watch because it's entertaining. Like, I actually pay attention to the players, what they're doing, what teams they're playing for. Like, I pay attention to all of that. So I'm not doing it to try to prove a point.
Right.
But men get a little threatened. Y'all get a little threatened sometimes.
Yeah.
When a girl comes out and knows more than you, and some of your friends that you know.
Yeah.
They just got out of
No, that's
Facebook
because they
jail.
talking emotions. They don't.
Yeah.
They talk sports with emotion.
Yeah.
They don't base it on facts.
Right.
It's
No,
like, nah,
that's
hold
true.
on. Like, you got to put some facts in there. Like, can you back that up? Like, they'll.
Yeah.
That's what we see it on Facebook and everywhere else. That's
All
what
the
they
time.
do. You can attest to that.
Clipper
All
fans,
the man, they talk with emotion.
That's
all
all
they
they
do.
do.
All emotion.
Yeah, they
I'm
don't
like,
have no
okay, that's
hardware to
cool.
speak.
I say, but trust me, even this season, I'm like, until it happens,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna break a sweat because it's like, I ain't even ever been out the second round.
And I appreciate
at
you
your
for
best,
that too,
at your
Malika.
And I can be
best,
objective.
at
I
your
can say
best
the Lakers
season.
stink.
Yeah.
Like, they stunk for several seasons.
Yeah.
But that's still my team.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
gonna rep my team. But
Yeah.
don't try to come at me like your team has done something. That's why I don't like Clipper fans. Like, what have you done?
Right.
Like, nothing.
I
So
get
don't
it.
even talk to me till you make it to the conference final.
My dude's gonna hit me talking about we Pacific Division champs.
Wow.
That's the one that
Great.
Wow. Okay.
The sad thing about the Clippers is that with the amount of talent that they've had over the years,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
they
no
would have a
excuse.
killer all-star team
Yeah.
Yeah.
if assembled all at once.
Right.
But they could never pull it off.
No.
Right.
They could never go the distance in the different eras that they were
still
in
can't.
for whatever
Still
reason.
still can't.
Yeah.
Well,
A
I'm
lot of
not.
talent though.
I'm not gonna be shady and take a dump on the Clippers.
No, it's not about that.
Not
It's just
for me.
I will.
Not right now. Not, at least not right now. I'm gonna let one of y'all do
He
it
said
right
it.
now.
He said it. He said it.
I'm not dumping on them, but what I'm saying is they've had some top players
That's
on
very
their
true.
team.
Very true.
Multiple
Still get
players at
Clippers
the
tickets
same
on
time.
sale.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. How
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it possible
Yeah.
for them not to at least make it to the conference
exactly.
final?
still get Clipper tickets on sale.
You can find them on Groupon, but
Yeah,
that's
you
a
can't
whole
find.
other
You won't see
conversation.
not a Laker ticket. Even when we was losing, you
Okay,
wouldn't
she
find
said
that
that.
on there.
She's trying.
I
She's
should have
speaking.
screenshotted it when I saw it.
You're right.
Nah,
Wow.
I went to the game and with one of my guys. I'm not gonna say his name because he got the tickets. But when I was like, "Oh, how much did you get these seats for?" He was like $12.
Oh wow.
And I was
did see
like,
that.
"Wow,
They had
okay."
tickets for $5.
And this
I
was
shared
like
it on my
right
Twitter
before the
account.
game.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
That was recently. There were
Recently?
tickets
I
for
was
$5.
gonna ask.
Yes, I have a screenshot on my phone.
That was that
Wow.
game James Harden
Wow.
made on Do Fall.
Wow.
Listen. Okay, so let me switch it up a little bit because, again, to talking smack with other. We have a lot of friends around the country that they support their teams. We have friends that don't have a team; they just hate the Lakers. They hate how we celebrate.
They don't like that we win.
We celebrate
Yeah, they're not winners
according
at
to the 16 trophies that we do have.
Don't hate, appreciate.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate it. So, what's funny is, and I want to talk to Rapture and Bennett about this because in our recent years in years near to us of traveling and being on tour and having moments. We'll talk about a specific moment in a second, but I remember, was it 2000 to 2001? One of them years we were in Hawaii. Was it Hawaii? Who were we on tour? Or North Carolina? We were out with 50 Cent.
No, that was.
What year was that?
No, that was.
no, that was
against the Celtics.
against the
That was
Celtics.
2010. When Lloyd Banks bet everybody $100 in the band that basically the Celtics gonna win.
Right.
Each individual person. So of course when they won, we all on the same floor. So everybody just was in the hall, just waiting. When we knocked on that door, he
Yeah,
did come pay up.
We made a lot of money.
Same
betting.
thing with Ocho Cinco
Yeah,
at
yeah,
your
yeah.
house. When we was
Yeah, yeah.
watching That was the year. It was the same year that the Roy Jones Tarver fight. So we were that same night, and the Lakers were playing. No, this was like 02.
Oh, 02.
Had to be 02.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so many memories.
They were playing the Spurs. Wasn't even finals. He talking about y'all going for the Lakers. He's like, Lakers ain't gonna win, Spurs gonna win. He's like, anybody taking bets? I bet $100 whoever taking. So like 9 people took that bet. Of course, the Lakers won. Got to pass it out.
Shout out to Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. He did pay up. He did pay up.
Everybody they pay up, but they just don't like it. Like we even get into conversations with Nelly about it all the time. Just everybody want to talk about the Lakers. Everybody want to hate. No, I have not been in one situation where they just be like, you know what? Yeah, y'all good. Like, yeah, I give y'all props. It's always something negative to say. You know what I'm saying?
People don't like.
It's easy to hate a winner.
Win too much.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It's just you win too much. It's the ideology that starts in grade school.
Yeah.
Take turns. Okay, you won enough. All right, let them get a turn. That's not how life works.
No.
And who's to determine that you've won enough?
Right.
Yeah,
based on what?
Yeah.
Like they changed the rules of the NBA to try to make it so the Lakers can't get it. We still pull out like the Chris Paul trade. They changed the rules. We still figured out a way to make it happen, and they like, wait. Okay, no, wait. That's what they do. They do it. That's what they do. They don't like us. It's cool.
So from my experience, they hate on the West Coast, period. You know what I mean? This is sunshine, the lights, camera, action, the movie stars.
Yes, you'd hate it too if you were freezing your ass off in February, knowing that everybody else were at poolside. Yeah, you'd hate it too.
So the Lakers come on right?
On a random Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, on a random Tuesday. Because you can take your shirt off because you can.
Yeah.
Because it's warm enough to put the sunblock on.
Yeah.
Because the sun is out for you to have to block it.
Right.
So, I mean, of course.
Like right now.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Like in February.
Excuse me, hang on. I'm going to take off my It's really getting quite warm in here now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Amazing, man.
Thank you very much.
Amazing, man. Bennett, there was an experience. So let's switch and talk Kobe a little more. So I remember when I first got into the music business, to the production side of the music business. I think it was around 99 going into 2000, early 2000. And me and my production partner at the time, Dante Nolan, we got a call from Jay Brown, who's now at Rock Nation. He says, hey, I want you guys to go by Kobe Bryant's office in Brentwood. He's working on a record. I want you to play him some beats, right? And so me and Dante, we drove to Brentwood and we go in the office. This is Afro Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Afro. Right. And we go in there and we're sitting, and this is our first time presenting to somebody of his magnitude. I mean, we sat with a lot of artists playing records and beats for them, but going in to see Kobe. We walk in the office, we sit there, and we're playing beats for Kobe Bryant. And in my whole mind, I'm not even listening to the tracks. I'm like, dang, we're sitting there, Kobe, man. Like, crazy. And we're talking about it, and we sat there with him for an hour. And Dante reminded me the other day, Kobe would say, man, what is that sound? Because our production style was, we didn't play keyboards like you famous keyboard players, but we just knew how to grab sounds and make tracks. And he was like, what is that? He was really intrigued with the sounds. And we sat there for an hour talking to him about sounds on tracks. And that was my first. And when we left there, I didn't care whether we placed the song on his record or not. I was like, man, we just spent an hour with Kobe Bryant just chilling, just us and a couple of people from his team, which brings me further into the future where we had an experience, Ben, and we were, I want to say maybe 2007, 2008.
Yeah, at Staples Center.
Staples Center, we're there, and we're doing a show with Jamie Foxx. And we've been on tour, and every city they're going to, Fox will wear a jersey of the city. And, Fox is a LeBron guy. We'll get to LeBron in a minute. But when they came to LA, we were Laker up. So there's a picture in the Microsoft Theater right now. On my drums, I had not this jersey, but my 24 jersey. I hung the jersey on my cymbal stands. And little did we know, Kobe was there.
He was there.
So tell us about, I want you to tell the encounter we had with Kobe.
Well, we were a group of loud, obnoxious guys.
Yeah.
On tour with Jamie Foxx.
No.
Yeah.
Playing basketball in every city.
Yeah.
So we're doing a show at the Staples Center, and we would always go in the Fox dressing room and talk stuff. Fox is a LeBron guy. You know what I mean? So we go in there, and Kobe's in there.
Yeah.
And we get to stand around. We're standing around in a circle talking stuff about basketball, and Kobe joins in. You know what I mean? It's like talking to one of the fellas. You know?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to tell him I'd bust him up, but you know.
Oh man,
that was a great experience.
Yeah, man.
So looking back on it now, I wish we had got a group photo with him or something at that time.
Yeah,
but who gets to stand around and talk to one of the greatest players in history like he's one of the fellas, you know?
Yeah,
Amazing.
You know.
I remember we were talking about LeBron because Breon and Fox was saying the guards has changed already.
Yeah.
And I remember Kobe saying, not yet.
Yep.
Oh.
He said it's very seriously. He said, not yet. He said, one day, but not yet.
Not yet.
Following that, they won two more chips. You know what I'm saying? That was fun to watch him talk and be just cordial. And then, which brings, actually a few weeks after that, I got a picture with him at Shannon Brown's birthday party. I was like, hey man, can I take a picture? And it was like, my friend said, Kobe will take this picture. And then Kobe said, oh yeah, I remember you. You the guy from a couple weeks ago, the drummer.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm always hold that memory. And then as of recent, we all experienced the tragedy of his untimely passing, him and his daughter Gianna and 7 other people, which we still are sending love and prayers to the family.
Absolutely.
So anybody want to chime in on how you felt about that moment? Anybody?
Oh man,
Malika.
So I was in church,
Wow.
and it happened to be my brother-in-law was gone, so I had to run the service. I'm in the pulpit, and my phone starts blowing up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's going on? So my cousins are texting me. People are sending me links to stuff, and they're asking me, well, is it true? And I'm just like, is what true? Because I'm in church. I'm tuned out of what's going on.
Yeah.
So then when I saw it, it was just like immediately like something dropped. Like I just felt like something was weighing on my chest. I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't like focus for the rest of the service. And then afterwards, I had to tell my sister, Cara.
Yeah.
She was probably the first one that was a diehard Kobe fanatic from the beginning. Like she has newspaper clippings. Her email address has Kobe's name in it. Like she was diehard. So I knew it was going to hit her hard. And so it was like a family member died. Like having to tell my family that Kobe passed away, and we don't know what happened. We're still trying to figure out what all is true and what's not. And it's like we're shedding tears. Like when my dad passed away, that's what it felt like. That's the same kind of hurt I felt when I heard that, because it was just like, this doesn't make sense. And I'm still in a place where I don't believe it's real. Like I'm still, it doesn't seem real to me.
Same here. Where were you at, Greg, when you?
Well, that's probably the most difficult place for you being in church. The second most difficult place was, we were at home. That's not the difficult place, but my wife and I were at home getting ready to go to the Grammys.
Yeah.
And we're preparing to go to the Grammys, and my daughter actually texted me first, and she said, "Dad, please answer." And she's a teenager, and so that doesn't usually happen when your teenage daughter is saying, "Please answer." So I call her, and she says, "How you doing?" I go, "I'm fine." She said, "Did you hear?" I go, "Hear what?" And she told me, and I just was stunned. It's like somebody just punched the air out of my lungs.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe it. And I'm telling, I'm in the bedroom. My wife comes in, and she looks at me. She goes, "What?" And I have this stunned look on my face. And I had just turned the TV on, and I pointed to the TV. And she just sat down, and we were in shock.
Yeah.
Now we have to get ready to go to the Grammys. We had plans on going. And she was saying, "I don't even want to go."
Right.
And I said, "Okay, you know what? I really understand that, but I believe Kobe would have wanted this to go on."
Yeah.
He would have been the first one to say, "Get up, go." So we go, and we did not have tickets. We had passes, and I knew that's all I expected, because passes are easy for me to get around wherever I want to go anyway. Well, we ended up with seats. So we're sitting there, and now here's the stage, but you look behind you, and they had Kobe's jerseys lit up the entire show.
Yeah.
So now you're in his house.
Yep.
And you're trying to celebrate, but you look, and it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. And then to find out later that Gianna was with him.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, what is Vanessa going through?
Yeah.
What are the sister? What are the kids
That was
going
my
through?
thought, too.
Yeah.
First off.
You're thinking about that, and it's just overwhelming, and it's just and the grief came in waves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It come in waves.
Mm-hmm.
You'd get hit hard, and then you'd be all right.
Yeah.
And then you'd celebrate and smile, and then some time would pass, and then it would happen all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even now, I mean, of course, I've had to function for the last week, as we all have.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, there's still a part of you that goes, I cannot believe we're saying.
Oh yeah.
I think that's.
I
the
can't
issue.
believe
Yeah,
that.
I
think
wake
that's
up
the
daily
issue.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
People are
Kobe
trying
gone?
to
What?
cope with it actually being
Being
real.
real. And you
Like
know
what?
watching ESPN, that's what
Yes.
my issue was.
yeah,
For like the first 3 days, my TV
Yeah.
stay on ESPN.
Yeah.
right?
Mine too.
So after 3 days, I'm sitting there, and it just, you see it, birthday, death year, birth year,
Right,
death
yeah,
year,
that
and
was
you're
what
looking
messed
at
me
the
up.
bottom of the
Well, that's
corner,
way
but
too
you're
soon.
still kind of
You
like,
can't.
I couldn't get that.
okay. But then it's something in you after 5 days of seeing it, like, yo, this really happened.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it's not as badass, it might be a little worse than when Michael went.
Yeah.
No, for
for
sure.
me it's worse.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, it's
Yeah.
worse.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say it's worse because Mike was still the throwback superstar of music, like to where it was always a mystery. You didn't see a lot of them unless it was on the news or it was a story or something. Like Kobe,
You watching Kobe every week playing
watching him
basketball.
evolve.
He
You
was
look,
They were talking
successful.
about
The
him,
timing
at the
of it.
but they
timing
were
of it, and the
talking
fact that
about
it was
him
so
because
sudden.
LeBron
Yeah.
just passed him
Yeah.
the night before.
Yeah.
So the whole subject matter was
There was a lot to
him
go
passing.
into that.
So
Yeah.
it's all. That's why my first thought was Vanessa, and then my second thought was LeBron,
Yeah.
because
Huh.
I'm like, how you think he feels? Because his name has been running with Kobe's for the last, week or so. Tough
right,
on ESPN
right.
because he was coming so close to that mark, and Kobe was actually like,
Cheering him
giving
on.
him
Yeah,
the torch
yeah,
and everything.
exactly,
Like, yeah, in
exactly.
his last tweet,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was just like, wow, it
tough.
was just crazy
we
to
was
be
in
like,
service.
man.
We was in service.
So we all were in church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We were in
outside.
church.
Anthony leans over the board, mixing board, and I'm looking at his face. I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? He like, Kobe is dead. And I got mad at first
Right.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I feel like you ain't fact checking. You
Yeah.
just, what site did you get that? But
Yeah.
all of what we're doing in that moment, we can't just get up
Get
and
up and
leave
go,
and
yeah.
focus
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that. So-
Right,
No,
right,
because
right.
when he brought it over to me, I got up.
Uh-huh.
I got off the keyboard
Yeah.
Okay.
and went
walked
behind
out.
the wall
Yeah,
and
walked
started
out.
looking at my phone.
Yeah.
So
So you did what I did.
yeah,
Yeah,
I-
see, he came
Really?
up and
I
told
was-
the lady
listen,
was talking.
yeah,
and he
I was-
came up in the back and said it.
Were you
we-
preaching or were you?
I was getting ready to.
Oh.
So this is what's crazy. So there's a time where we kind of just fellowship, kind of hang out, and we usually normally play a song. We play a specific song, and our audio engineer, who is another diehard Laker fan, he's not playing the song. I'm thinking like, oh, play the song, and he ends up repairing it, but they're having conversations. I don't know what's happening. And I see everybody kind of looking, so forth and so on. And then it comes to me, and I introduce somebody that's going to introduce this new thing we're doing at the church. And then after that, I have to preach. Well, I handed her the mic. Two of the homies come and say, hey, man, something just happened. They're like, your boy gone. I said, what are you talking about? I said, Kobe. I said, nah. I left the pulpit, and I went to the back. I turned on the TV to see. And I said, I didn't see nothing there, and I'm waiting. And then they said it, and then I saw it on my phone, and then I had to go back in, and I had to tell everybody. And then I'm telling everybody, and our team is so great at the church, and while I'm telling them, they put a picture on the screen of him and LeBron. Instantly started crying. I couldn't even help it. And then I had to go and try to share some good news to people on that. And I was telling one of my friends, it was kind of like, I've never had to speak. And while I'm speaking to them, I'm having an alternate conversation in my mind about what happened.
Yeah.
And emotion, that was the toughest thing for me.
Wow.
But it happened, and it's a tragedy that we'll never forget.
No,
Well, I'll
Let me
tell you.
how I know it's widespreading. So I had to basically do grief counseling when I got to work
Wow.
that
Really?
Monday with my students.
Some people didn't go.
Really?
They came to class. I mean, I came in a Laker t-shirt
Yeah.
and my jeans and my blazer, but my students came to class in Kobe jerseys
Yeah.
and Laker gear.
Wow.
And some texted or emailed me over the weekend. They said, "Can we talk about this?" Like,
Yeah.
my students were grieving, so it's like I had to compartmentalize how I personally felt
Yeah.
to be there for them
That's tough.
from a professional standpoint. And they just were all stunned. So I had students in this class to go down to Staples. They would email me. They say, "I know you understand, but we just need to be down there."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I say for me, it's bigger than when MJ passed, because I just feel like for our city,
yeah.
we lost a lot in the last year.
Yeah.
And so I flash back to when Nipsey passed. It happened on a Sunday. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing for me. It was like deja vu, like this moment of feeling that again.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I just think for a city, we're grieving.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because, you know, we in LA who are Laker fans, basketball fans, those that aren't Laker fans, you know, it hit everybody. I was just really glad to see the city come together. It was
The
a very
unity.
somber
Yeah.
thing. Like
Very somber.
very somber thing, but to see people come together and then we reminisce, and I was like wondering, why am I crying? Why am I watching TV crying? Why am I waking up early Monday morning just tearing? And then I thought about it. For 20 years, a lot of our times having fun in the city, we going together.
Right.
We partying, watching Laker
Laker
games.
game, and that's involved in all your family stuff, everything.
Yeah.
If they play on a
Yeah.
Sunday in the playoffs, you getting together to
Yeah.
eat.
We getting out of church
Family,
early.
that's what you do. You gotta watch the Laker game.
Hey, my iPad is
That's
set
what it
up
is.
on my
Exactly.
keyboard at the
We got-
church.
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
You
I
know.
watched it on my phone during church too.
Oh, listen,
Okay.
listen.
Wow.
I sit even up now when the last few years when I'm teaching or whatever, I got my phone sitting there with the score. I'm like, just because I need to know. It's
Okay,
just
Lord, I'm
enough.
sure you're forgiving them
Oh,
right now.
listen,
I'm sure of that. I'm
Listen,
sure.
hey, he
I'm
has
sure of
to.
that.
I think the Lord is a basketball.
My dad used to do that.
He
Like,
used to ask
he
us,
look
"What's
over there
happening?"
because he knows I'm looking at
Yeah.
my phone. He's like, "What's the score?"
Yeah.
It's love for
We
the
got it
city.
honest.
Right.
I think that we have the. I mean, you know, the Celtic fans will. I ironically had I was at the bank before I came here, and I was waiting, and I usually don't go in the bank, but I had to go in the bank because my ATM card wasn't working, and so this lady is telling me she sees my jersey. She's talking about how she's a Celtics fan, you know, and so we're having a good dialogue. But even her talking about Kobe, she said she just cried. I mean, it is just the community of ball players.
It's
and
affected
fans.
everybody
Yeah.
deeply. This is like a
Yeah,
deep
man.
hurt for a lot
It's
of
a
I
deep
wasn't
hole.
even able to watch a game for a week. The first game I watched was against Portland, and I didn't even realize they played the next night. That's how much I was
Yeah.
out of it.
I was with you that night. I saw you. You were working.
Yeah.
You had your
I had it hooked
his
up.
computer right there. We
I
can
watched
listen.
the
That's
whole
the way we
tribute.
gonna do, man. But our city is great. We got a great city. Let's just talk. Moving on. The legacy was passed on the night before.
Yeah.
Kobe said it, you know, in his message, you know, to LeBron, and now we're going forward. We're in a stage right now to, you know, we know what's happening today, and the energy is cracking because we all are looking forward to April playoff times in June, and we have a guy that I believe is capable, in spite of what others may say, to help get us there, because you cannot argue even his greatness. It may be a different greatness,
Yeah.
but it is a greatness. And you know, you being from Ohio, and because I know how we've talked over the years about LBJ, LeBron. You
He
know,
just had a
great guy.
Cleveland Cavalier hat 2 years ago.
Yeah, and now he has a Laker hat. You know, but how is it? You know, when
First time
LeBron
you see me in a Laker hat.
It
when
really
LeBron
is.
came to
Very first
LA,
time.
when LeBron came to LA,
Out of
what did
respect.
that do for you?
Um,
Did you have to cope with some decisions?
No, I didn't have to cope with any decisions because my support for LeBron runs a little deeper than a team,
Okay.
right? So being that he's from an area that is very close in proximity to where I'm from,
Yeah.
and we're close in age, so my allegiance to LeBron is different than the average sports person.
Right.
I have an allegiance to Northeast Ohio,
Okay.
and LeBron being such a significant piece of sports content in this world,
Yeah.
coming from that insignificant corner of our country.
Akron
Nobody looks for
specifically, or where?
Northeast Ohio for
Northeast?
anything.
Okay.
Akron specifically.
Okay.
Youngstown is about 35, 40 minutes from there. So it's like, you know, this is an overlooked part of the country, but now we have this nugget or this gem that has come forth, and it's like, boom. Not only is he from Northeast Ohio, but he's the best basketball player, one of the best basketball players that have ever suited up a pair of sneakers
Gotcha.
ever in the history of
That's
basketball.
true.
Right?
That's fact.
From Northeast Ohio.
Undeniable.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why my passion for LeBron James goes a bit different than just being a fan rooting for a guy on a team.
Yeah.
You feel me? So when he went to Miami, I wanted Miami to win. Now that he's in LA, I want the Lakers to win. I want the Lakers to win.
You just say that with excitement, though.
No. But
You know
here's
what?
the thing.
You know what? You know what? I noticed that. Just
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but all the LeBron fans, that's what they do. They be like, "Oh, we roll wherever LeBron goes." Now,
But all the LeBron fans ain't from
but
30 minutes where
this is
they
one
don't
thing
have that same
let me
allegiance
tell you,
to tie.
it just came to me right now. See, the fact that like Kobe was so great and on just one team, that's why it's hard for us to accept that. Because we look at we not only support our team who just happen to be great, we just also happen to have great players. But see, LeBron, he had to kind of move around, so that's why he had to go to Miami.
But
Then he had to go
you're
around.
saying this like what
No,
other,
it's not
what
wrong
other
with
play
it.
what other
I mean,
player
but he's the only player that can do that. I will say that. I'll give you that.
what other you name me another player that has an illustrious 20-year career with one
It doesn't
it
have.
just
That's just us. That's
Kobe
just
is the anomaly,
but
so you
that's
can't
our
you got to
conversation.
take that off the
I'm
table.
just bringing our conversation.
That's fine, but you got to take that off the table. That Kobe is an anomaly.
But that's what it used to be.
In
That's
fairness,
Kobe's an anomaly.
in
That's
why we
fairness,
always had a problem
in
with
fairness,
that.
if Kobe did the same thing, you'd be following Kobe for the same reasons.
Probably,
In
but
fairness,
I would. Yeah, but I would still stay a Laker fan though. I would be with Kobe, but I'm not. I would still be
I'm
a
not
Laker
Well, he
gonna
didn't
fan.
have a team.
If
I
Kobe
like a
would have
lot
went to
of players
Chicago
who wear
like
the
he was
jersey
supposed
when
to,
they leave.
if Kobe would have went to Chicago like he talked about doing,
No, because I was
That's
I
because
was a
of the-
Laker
what
fan.
would have been- what would have been the
because I was
case
a
then?
Laker fan before Kobe got here.
That's
Right,
my
but
argument.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
So
what
see,
I-
that's the difference.
But
I've been a Laker-
Kobe
I've
is
been a-
not from Los Angeles, California.
He's not.
If
That's
Kobe
all right.
was from Los Angeles, California,
Yeah, but he
that
was
would've been
here. He was
somebody
here
y'all would've
longer
rooted
than
for.
he wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, he lived here longer than he was. Yeah, I remember I saw Kobe when he was remember the Fat Burger on La Cienega
Yeah.
across from the Nico.
Oh, yeah.
When Kobe first stayed, he was living at the what used to be the Nico. It's the
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right,
SLS
that's right.
now. But Kobe was living there. I remember on the way to the studio, driving
Really?
down La Cienega, it's traffic, and this dude is waiting to cross. So I'm like, go ahead. And he walks in front, and I look, I'm like, hey, that's Kobe. And he, was going to Fat Burger. Just, we just went on and drove about it. But this was like before that. This was like 17-year-old Kobe. And
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
that's Kobe. And, just went on about it. But it's like crazy.
Go ahead,
But in
Malika.
Garrison's defense, I understand what you're saying.
I do too.
Because we're like that with
I can defend myself, but okay.
People
But
from
okay.
Inglewood, we rep. If you're from Inglewood, we family. You know, we
It
don't really
just
know
is.
you like
It is
that.
what it is.
So I totally
It
get
is
what you're
it is.
saying.
So I think my thing is not about, I'm on the hype train of LeBron being the best and that's my favorite player. Blah, blah. No, that's one of the homies from our area that
That's
I'm
city
repping. I want
law.
to see him
Yeah.
succeed
Right.
on a whole nother level. You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
And now we can split hairs on the type of players that they are, right?
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
difference in demeanors and how they carry themselves. We can split hairs and go have that debate for the next 30, 40, 50 years, right?
Right.
But what you can't debate is statistically what he has produced in his 17 years of playing
Facts.
basketball in the National Basketball Association.
I'll give it
Facts.
to him when he wins one in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting
That's
on.
what I'm waiting for.
But listen, this is my thing. This is
But him giving it to him doesn't erase anything he's
That's
No.
true.
It
But let me
doesn't.
tell you,
He
Look,
just ain't
look,
get this.
look,
That
look,
doesn't
look,
erase
look.
that
See,
he's
this is
done.
this is another problem too. People think like most Kobe fans are like Kobe and that's it. Okay, I'm a Kobe fan, a Laker fan, and a basketball fan.
Yeah.
So it was impossible for any fan to watch LeBron James play basketball and say anything bad
Right.
about it. Just like I used to trip when people used to be like, "Oh, Kobe's weak." I'm like, you cannot like the Lakers and not like Kobe, but don't you dare say that dude's not good in basketball.
People dog Kobe
Don't
all
you-
the time.
don't you
Yeah.
dare
Still
say
do.
that.
What are you
do.
talking
Still
about?
do.
I dog Kobe
I'm
all
like,
the
don't
time.
you dare say that.
You
That's why
can't deny what happens.
I defend
when that man
LeBron the
gets on
same way.
basketball court.
I
You
defend
can't deny
LeBron
it.
the same way. Like, you can't say nothing about what the guy does. I don't
But
got
I
nothing bad to say
think,
about
too,
him.
being Laker fans and seeing a personality like Kobe's and then seeing LeBron, their personalities are not the same.
No,
And so the killer instinct that Kobe has, a lot of times we question that in LeBron. And the game that they just played the other night, I had to get on Facebook. I said, oh, he's channeling Bean tonight because the way he was playing in that game when he shot all those threes, I said, yeah, that's Kobe. That's a Kobe mentality.
Well, what y'all seen in LeBron in professional ranks, we've seen it from LeBron playing in high school, junior high. Like LeBron James plays the exact same way he played when he was a kid. He is a team first, pass first guy. Right. LeBron could go out and easy. I remember LeBron would be the biggest guy on the basketball team. He'd be like, this dude could easily score every point out here, literally every quarter, and just dump. He doesn't like to play that way.
Right.
He likes to involve his teammates, run plays for his teammates, facilitate. Now, if there's moments where he got to take over, it's like, all right, y'all ain't making shots. Y'all can't nobody else get their own bucket.
But
LeBron is going to facilitate.
I've watched a couple of games this season where I was like, those moments are here.
That's
I need you to.
He said the other day that he was going to carry the Mamba mentality and put us on his back. We need to see him do it.
Well, this is what I think.
The word, that's for sure.
This is what I feel. I feel
he got to make his free throws. I just want to say that again. That's all we need him to do is make his free throws.
This is basketball time. This is how most
make
people
his
sit
free
around and
throws.
talk.
Because I have a problem with that. That's my only problem with LeBron.
Yeah,
like
you can't be
I
that great
can't
and not make free throws.
and this is where like just being this has nothing to do with the LeBron Kobe. This is being a Laker. My whole life, whenever one like the Lakers, like Kobe or something, had to step up and make the free throw, it never was even a question.
It wasn't a question.
No.
It wasn't a question. With LeBron, you just be like,
you don't know.
Oh, come on, man.
You know, he's a different level. Like you said, Garrison.
That's my only thing.
He and I'm here to always defend the Lakers. I'm not here to ever defend the players and the little things with them. But you're right. He's a different player. He's a very different player than number 8 or number 24. But my hope is that, hey, come June,
you could just say, not even LeBron. I thought about this on the way here. There aren't many professional basketball players, period, that from the start of the tip to the end of the game played with as much intensity as Kobe.
Yeah.
Right.
There aren't many,
MJ,
period.
that's it.
Yeah.
The only other guys, you could put
Me
some,
and Westbrook.
and you could put
Westbrook is intense.
You could put Mike in that conversation.
Yeah.
I call them guys that are able to play angry or play with a serious focus. Into everybody can't sit down and do what they do angry, right? They can't sit. They need a clear, calm, tranquilized mind to think and
better when they're angry.
Some guys,
anger fuels them.
Them.
Yeah.
They can sit on that bench with the fierceness upon them, and it's like, yo, how is he able to even?
Like I just sent you the clip of Kobe when the Shaq fouled out in the finals.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He just kept looking over there that's cool.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find many guys that carry that type of intensity, man.
Yeah, I give you that.
It's
great,
just,
man.
he was a special dude,
Very
man.
special.
Yeah,
Special
man.
dude.
It's amazing. It's amazing. All of those things. But let me ask you guys this. I got a question. Since we're gonna, talk about Kobe, number 8 or number 24? Which one?
Oh my God! There would not be a 24 without the 8.
It's got to be 8. It's got to be
So,
8.
but 24
It's got to be 8.
was
24 was a beast.
I like
24 was a more mature version of 8. So
was a
they
man.
He was a grown man. when he was
okay.
24
So
was a
really,
man.
it should be 824.
Yeah.
There you go.
824. Yeah.
824.
Let's just do that.
You're talking about a double number Hall of Fame.
24 was just a smart Kobe. He's smarter.
He's a more mature.
Yeah,
Looks like,
Yeah.
watch out, I'm coming to dunk
yes,
you.
I'm just killing
Watch
you.
out.
Yeah.
That
was
number
fearless.
24 to me
He wasn't
was
scared of
more,
nobody.
oh, my shot is on tonight, so I'm going to keep shooting these jump shots till you stop it.
Right.
I'm not even going to go to the hole. I'm going to just shoot jump shots all night. Why go to the hole? 8 Kobe was going to the hole regardless. 24 Kobe is like, okay, I'm going to shoot this fadeaway all night until you stop it.
24 was fearless too, though. But
Yeah.
he just
Oh,
had
yeah.
way
But
more
he was
moxie.
also smart.
Yeah,
too.
he had more moxie.
Because of the experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What about you, Bennett? What number he taking?
I like number 8. I like Afro Kobe.
Afro Kobe.
I like the fearlessness, the fly through the air and get there however you got to get there. You know, number 8 talk stuff to Shaq
The
all
bounce,
the
the
time.
arrogance.
Oh, he talks stuff to
He fought
anybody.
Shaq. He fought Shaq.
You know?
Yeah.
They fought.
That's crazy.
24
man.
Kobe is the one that told him, y'all can't wear the Kobe's no more.
Yeah.
Took everybody.
He took everybody's
shoes.
shoes. He was like, y'all
After
can't
they
wear
lost the
Kobe's no
game.
more.
Really?
Yes.
Y'all can't
Said it
wear
was too
Kobe's.
soft.
Y'all can't
Took
wear
the
Kobe's
shoes.
no more.
Take my shoes
Not
off.
worthy to wear my shoes.
Man.
And that's after a game, right? So you're talking about a guy that's carrying that much care and intensity even after a game, right? Because these guys are rich. They live in the best life they could possibly imagine, right? So you're talking about after 48 minutes, you're going back to your plush house, driving your plush car, if you're driving it.
Yeah.
Probably got a driver in a Sprinter van or some kind of, they're not thinking about this after the game.
Right.
Kobe after the game is saying, you know what, all y'all run me my shoes. Because
Right.
y'all not even worthy to wear my shoes.
Yeah.
That's after the game.
Crazy, right?
I have an issue with people that said he shot too much. And now they're calling him one of the greatest. But I heard you say he shot too much.
It's easy to say he's great when he's no longer here. 'Cause
Yeah.
that sounds politically correct to say, but where were all y'all? Like, I got phone calls from people that have hated on the Lakers. I'm not
Oh,
going to say no
yeah.
names.
I know
And
exactly.
Give me-
someone
say
resides
one
in the
name.
state of Texas.
Say
yes.
one name.
Call my phone. Now, I ain't talked to this person on the phone in 3 years. Call my phone. Like a loved one passed away. He said, I just had to reach out.
Okay.
I said,
I got that call,
I've
too, from
embarrassed him on social media when his team played the Lakers in the conference finals.
Yeah.
And they lost. And the bet was whoever lost had to wear the jersey or T-shirt of the other team. I still
Yeah.
have those pictures on my
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
And so the fact that he called me and now he's all, I respect him. I want y'all to win.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Be careful what you post, because we go back into history and see what
It's
you
a lot.
post.
It's a lot of Jason
So, no,
Whitlocks
what
out
it is
there.
is they
Yeah.
exposing.
There you go, call it now.
It's a
what
lot
they
of Jason
backtracking
Whitlocks.
They
going
exposing the fact that they was really just a hater because you was watching Kobe be great, talking about
Right.
he sucks and the Lakers they whack and all this, but really you was mad that wasn't your team doing that.
That's because we were enjoying the fruits of
Yeah.
Kobe and the other.
Second of all,
He's
that
right.
shooting guard's
Yeah.
job is to shoot the
Yeah.
ball. It's
Right.
not to pass you the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it says SG next to his name.
Right.
Shoot the rock.
We
Right.
were enjoying all the benefits of that,
Yeah.
while applying our sunblock. So you
Yeah.
see, you have the extra luxury. You have the extra benefit.
While they're having
yeah, yeah,
snowstorms and
Yes.
hurricanes.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
We're out
in
in
that
sunshine.
in our shorts. You see, that's what we had the added.
Right.
That was the whole Jerry Buss, the whole thing. The Lakers' first team with the courtside seats,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
team with the
With
cheerleaders.
cheerleaders,
Jerry
yeah.
Buss, that's who he was like. We gonna win,
Yeah.
and we gonna have a good time while we do it.
We are
And it was
leaders.
called
And
Showtime.
Entertaining.
Man, that's
Staples
crazy.
Center,
Man.
it's still different. If you go to the Clipper game and go to the Laker game, it's like
Totally
night and day.
different.
Well, the
Yeah.
Clippers
It's totally
have
different.
them born in East LA jerseys on. Lowrider jerseys.
Oh,
But
man.
that's you know what
selfie.
they brought that upon themselves because have you checked out the new ad campaign for the Clippers
Oh, yeah.
on the billboards?
I
One
hate
of
it.
one of the sayings is
I hate it.
street lights, not spotlights.
Right.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to.
We
They're trying to
above
create.
me.
They're trying to.
Yeah.
They're trying to create any type
That's
of
not LA
separation
don't
as they
work
can.
like that.
I mean, they-
Yeah.
That's
Let's
all.
go.
Create your
Let's go.
Yeah, but
separation.
look,
That's my
but
thing.
LA don't work like
Respect.
that. We like
Yeah.
to show
Like
time.
you came
That's
to
what
our
we
town.
want.
Like
Yeah.
you came from San Diego, you came here. The Lakers were already here. We already had established who we were.
Right.
Don't throw off on our team.
Oh, by the
like
way,
we're
you're in our
scrubs.
building.
Right. Our
Watch
building.
this, Garrison.
Right. We're not scrubs.
A lot of out of town musicians moved here because they seen that Hollywood sign on the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we love you, Garrison, though.
Los
We love
Angeles owes me
But I will
nothing.
say this about Garrison.
Yeah.
Garrison doesn't hate.
No,
Like,
no, no,
he-
no.
He
Garrison.
definitely
Hey,
gets props.
nah,
where
yeah, I
it's due.
respect-
I'm a
So,
sports fan.
Right. I
I'm a
can't have
sports
beef
fan,
with
so-
him, but the other people, I have beef with them. So they're not even rational.
See, we can agree to disagree even on a subject because it's like if you bring your facts and I bring my
Right.
facts, okay, now it's just a matter of whose opinion on which facts
Right.
are better. But
Right.
the facts are the facts.
facts.
Right.
But
So
see,
you can't
you're
even
a
argue
sports
with
fan.
that.
You
But
But
see,
it's
most
not
of these
even
dudes,
facts
they
that
don't
are
even know no
better.
facts. They don't know no facts, and
Well,
they just
they
get to
don't know
talking.
that. Yeah.
Right.
You know, they just talking
But
like,
your
okay,
reasons are
back that up.
personal. It's like
Right.
how we talked about the Lakers for us as our childhood
Personal
growing up.
reasons,
For him,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
personal reason. So I
Sure,
totally get
sure.
that.
Yeah.
I don't hate on
you know,
LeBron.
and y'all don't think
I'm coming
I
around.
y'all don't
Go ahead,
think-
Dr.
Y'all
Malika.
don't think I
coming
watch. Y'all don't think I have watched games. LeBron has missed free throws, or there's moments in the fourth where he ended the fourth with 4 points. Y'all don't think?
We've
I've
talked
been in
on the
my
phone.
crib.
Yeah.
You've come. I'm like, man, this.
I was chewing you out in the year when it was against Dallas when they
He
it's like he ain't got no
he
fourth
didn't have
quarter.
the game to finish that series, and that ate me alive because
Yeah.
I felt LeBron those years those were the most prime athletically LeBron was. I said this time or never, right?
Right.
So in that game, but that's when I also realized that year that accomplishing an NBA championship is more about the team than it is an individual player.
Yeah.
Although
Always.
Michael Jordan carried his team and Kobe Shaq carried his team, the team during the finals is more important than the player.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is in clutch moments, you need that
You need
player.
that player.
You need that player.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
over a course of a 7-game series, it's who has the better made-up team
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
series. And Dallas had a better made-up team with better team.
Oh,
It
yeah.
happens.
No,
It's
it wasn't
facts.
even no question. Plus, they was mad because they lost to Miami before when Dwayne Wade won that first one.
Yeah.
So they was mad about that. So you figure, plus they was on a tear that year. They
Yeah.
went
come
and
on,
ran
man.
through the Lakers.
Yeah.
That Dallas team,
Everything.
as much of an anomaly as they were, because they just won one, didn't win away.
Yeah, they haven't been back
That
to that.
team was good.
Yeah.
Right.
That team was good.
was
Wow.
It was real good.
Man, it's just amazing. So when I think of now and where we go from here, I mean, like right now we're in Inglewood. We're in the house that I call it the city that Showtime built.
Yes.
Of course.
You're right.
And just all the amazing new establishments that are being built in this city. Matter of fact, shout out to
Hilltop Coffee.
Hilltop
Yes.
Coffee, Hilltop Cafe. We're
Hilltop.
here. Shout out! You got to stop by Hilltop Cafe here in Inglewood on the
Absolutely.
corner of La Brea and Regent. Wonderful friends who are the owners here. Come here, the food, the staff, everybody.
Soul Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the Soul Bowl.
The Soul Bowl. That's right. The energy in this place is fire, just like this city. And as the city is evolving and climbing and changing and growing, and it looks different from what it did 10, 20 years ago. The Lakers are evolving, and we're getting ready for the future. So, and let's close by asking, how do you feel about the future of the Lakers? What do y'all think? We got Rob Pelinka, new. Benny, you can speak to this.
Like I tell Garrison all the time, I don't care how far down the Lakers go, they're always going to rise again.
Yes.
So the future is always bright.
Yeah,
in LA.
man.
This is a destination city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is where you come if you want to win. You know what I mean?
And I always say, my argument to most everybody is, we're a decade team.
Yes, we are.
Every decade.
Every decade.
So every decade. Don't worry. You see us have people like,
we gonna go on a
y'all,
run."
it's been, I say, remember our last chip was in 2010. Okay, it's 2020. It's that time again. We're getting hungry and we were close. What do you think about the
They can run.
future?
I think they can run off a good 2 or 3 right through here. But
Okay.
and I think during the course of this time, even before LeBron leaves, I think they still gonna add another player. Not obviously nobody this year, but they gonna add another player because if you look at the Lakers, how they always have done it. Go back to the 80s, they always did it. You had Magic and Kareem. Oh, look, you get Worthy. Then that's the way it worked out. You look in the 2000s. When it was Kobe and Shaq, they always added that player. They had Glenn Rice, which on the end, but his
They
3-point
forget
shooting,
about Glenn Rice.
all that.
Yeah.
So like Rick Fox was one of them guys. You figured then they added Ori. Then you figure you fast forward up when it was Kobe and Gasol. They always have that. It was Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
Then
They
added
always
Artest.
have that third
Yeah.
guy that comes in, and right now, they're doing it by committee.
Right.
But trust me, probably next
Be another
season,
cat added
which
in.
we thought it was going to be Iguodala, but it's not. But it's going to be another player that's
Yeah.
going to come to the Lakers, and that's really going to make it where it's like they're going to headlock it for a good 2 or 3 years and just go on that run and do like they normally
I'm waiting
do.
for Zion to get here in a few years.
Oh man, now if we get woo.
Come
Wow.
on to LA, Zion.
Come on to LA,
Giannis
Zion.
might not be out of the realm of possibility.
Oh,
No,
Giannis
they already
too?
they was see Steph. I saw Steph Curry the other night. They are because Giannis, like you say, Steph Curry was talking
Teams
to
are
him.
trying to
that's
get a jump
hey,
on that.
hey,
Yeah.
Garrison,
Like, don't
that's
trip.
why Giannis' brother hasn't been cut yet.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Giannis' brother being there was a chess move.
That's
Yeah.
all that was. That's
Yeah,
really
that's a chess move.
and teams are jumping the gun on that because they know that if the Bucks can't cash out on the championship,
He's
they know
out.
that Giannis is going to be out.
Yeah,
out.
because I mean, we good for getting a good buck and bringing them out here and making a
Well,
run
now,
with
I'm
them.
just saying.
Yeah.
We done done that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's a plug to Giannis. Come west.
It's nice on this side.
It's nice
His
on this
game,
side.
his
And
game,
bring sunblock, please.
Yeah, bring some.
his game
So
don't
it's
even
a
go
nice
against
can.
LeBron.
So the
It will go right
It fit
together.
right in.
We
Yeah,
got
right.
to
Yeah.
promise his brother 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Hey, listen.
That's all good.
Because you know
Give
they-
at least 15.
Yeah.
The other brothers on Milwaukee. That's
Right.
why you think he on Milwaukee?
Come on out here.
Sidebar: they say the one that's in high school right now coming out.
Yeah, I
is the
seen
best
that.
one.
the best one.
They
say
say
he
he
the
Really?
Yeah, they say he's the best.
Wow. Well, listen, it's an amazing time. I want to just say thank you guys for coming, hanging out, as we talk LA, Laker, and Kobe love. And I appreciate y'all. Wish you all much success in everything y'all are doing. Until next time, it's always LA, baby. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.